You know how in your business, when you're gone for a while or you have a break or you've traveled and then you come back and you're kind of like, ugh, not motivated? Maybe that happens even when you haven't went somewhere. But for us, we were traveling and now I'm back and it's just been tough, like getting motivated again. But it's happening and it feels so exciting. So I have been setting up my registration for my most popular class, the 3 steps to an organized and profitable coaching business. It's where I teach you the 5 files you need to organize everything in your business. So if you haven't taken that class, even if you have, I want you to register again. I've made a few changes to it and it's going to be live. It's on Monday, August 19th. So you have less than a week. You can register at simplysquaredaway.com/free class. So get in there. And did you know, whenever I do a live training, if you come live, I do a giveaway for an Amazon gift card. A good reason to attend. Makes it fun. And I have a special, I've never done this before, but a special bonus offering for people that are on the call live. Okay? So, all that to now say that when I was working on a project this last week, I was so upset with my past self that I hadn't kept in an organized way or continued the path or whatever you want to say, kept track of something. So I thought of what are 10 things I wish I would have kept organized from the beginning of my business. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Are you ready to work less, feel more organized and productive, streamline repetitive tasks, and implement systems that allow your coaching business to run smoothly even without you? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Organized Coach Podcast, your go-to source for practical tips and solutions. I'm your host, Tracy Hoth, professional organizer, certified life coach, simplifying expert, and most of all, down-to-earth fellow coach just like you. No matter if you think you're missing the organizing gene, have ADHD, or just love anything organizing, I'm here to help you become an organized coach with a business that works for you. Pull up a seat and let's get started. Okay, 10 things I wish I would have kept organized from the beginning of my business. This came up because I want to put a little section on my website, a little slider. I don't know why I call it little, but a slider that goes across the middle with squares of all the podcasts that I've been on. And I can't ask someone to do that, I guess. I'm thinking I couldn't ask someone to do that until I had a list of the podcasts that I've been on. I wish I would have had it in a list. Now, I did a while back have my VA, my graphic designer, make posts for all the podcasts as blog posts, and I started having them all blog posts. So I could search that way, but the past year, maybe even longer, I haven't added to that list. And then I'm sitting there thinking, then I went to my calendar and I was searching podcast interview, but then interviews for my show came up. So I had to read through all of them. And I was like, this is such a waste of time. Why didn't I have a location, one location where I had all these listed? So that's what happened. And I was like, there's so many things like this that I wish at the beginning of my business, someone would have just said, here's how you set things up. Here's what to keep track of. And this is how you do it. And this is where you put it. And then also thinking of my clients, like what do my clients not have organized? What is the main thing that they wish they had organized to make life easier? So the very first thing that I think every client struggles with is that they didn't have a format set up for their digital files. I will never stop talking about this. Why doesn't someone tell us how to do this in the beginning of our business? If you have a coach certification, I think this should be part of it so that people know when they start what to do. Through experience of my own and working with people, I've made it the most simple. And that's what I teach you on the free class that I just told you about in the beginning. On August 19th, I'm having this class. Make sure you register for it. At least you will now know how to think about your digital files. But that's the first thing. If you knew and had your files that you're making throughout your entire business and all the courses that you're in and all of that and all their files they give you, if you knew how to organize that from the beginning, life would be so much easier. And if your business grows really fast and you need help, the person that you hire is going to be able to find things because you have a structure for your files. So absolutely, that's the first thing that I wish. And I didn't know it at the beginning, even though I do feel like I'm an organized person. So then I always think, geesh, if you didn't feel like that, you had no idea, what does it look like? And that's the great thing is, it's my joy and privilege and exciting. I get so excited to help someone create this structure in their business. I don't care how messy it is. The thought of creating it and relieving all that pain, frustration, wasted time from your life makes me so happy. So, files. Number one, your digital files. Keeping that organized from the beginning of your business and having a time where you maintain it. And should I bring this up now? I was going to say in Organized Coach Academy, we are now doing 2 calls a month, and I am just transitioning the second call of the month to it's kind of like a maintenance call for me where we're going to be working on different areas of our own businesses. So I'm going to put a theme up, like we're going to organize our bookmarks bar. We're going to organize our digital files. If you've already organized that, this is like your maintaining time to get it cleaned up, to do it and get it put back together. So digital files do require maintenance because you're constantly bringing things into your computer. So you have to maintain it. But having that set up in the beginning, yes, number one. Okay, number two, since I did this episode because of this, I'm going to say podcast guests. Every time you are on a podcast, or I would also say if you teach somewhere, if you did a presentation somewhere, have a list where you keep a running list. And you don't have to have everything there. But if you have that list, you'll remember that you did it and that maybe you created an outline for a presentation or a handout or something like that. So anytime you're a podcast guest or a guest somewhere, put it on this list. Now, you're like, Tracy, I'd have lists all over. I agree. That's why I created the business dashboard, because on the business dashboard, we have tabs for these categories. And it's so that with one click, you get into your dashboard. You can search the entire dashboard to find the topic that you're thinking of or that you're wanting to search. But you would have a tab called podcast guest or guests, guesting, however you want to say it, presentations, however you want to say that. You would have a list, a tab, and you would just record it in there. Just jot down the date and where you spoke. If it has a link, because it's a podcast, you could put the link in there. Done. It's so nice. I wish I had that on my business dashboard, but my business dashboard, I created that about 2 years ago, so I haven't put it on there yet. But podcast guests, number 2. So files, podcast guests. The next thing is funnel links. And this is another big one for me that was so frustrating. I couldn't find the links, or I'd have to go back into the software where the page is and get the link. And it was very frustrating. So right before I turned this microphone on, I wanted to get the link where I'm going to have you register for the class, simplysquaredaway.com/free class. But I couldn't remember what the link was. So what do? I go to my business dashboard, I click links, and I have it in there. And I just copied it, pasted it in my notes, and then I have it. That's how easy it is. I didn't have to go into Kajabi, go into the landing pages, search through the landing pages, copy the link, and then do it. I just, with one click, another click on that tab, I could copy the link. So anytime you have a funnel or a landing page or a digital product, or, the other thing is like if you if you just do one-on-one coaching, you would want to have a place where you keep the payment link. Now, some of you might create an invoice for each individual client. I have a payment link that I have in my Kajabi for each offer. So I have a 3-month offer and a 6-month offer. I have, or my digital products. I often go in to my business dashboard and I get my link for my idea tracker. I just did that this morning, actually. Someone asked me for the link to the idea tracker, and that's how I did it. 1 click to the dashboard, 1 click to my links page, and I could copy and paste the idea tracker link. It's so amazing. I just have to tell you, you need this. Okay, the business dashboard is available only in Organized Coach Academy. So you do have to join that to get the business dashboard. You can get the idea tracker. Oh, I'll talk about that in a minute. I want to keep organized from the beginning. My files, podcast guests, guesting, funnel links, and then assets and freebies. Now, these kind of overlap because I did just talk about funnel links that I put in links, but I think you need a separate tab or a place to record all the assets and freebies that you create. And the first client that I started helping get organized, she was just a beast, I want to say, like a genius at creating content and freebies and opt-ins and resources, and none of it was in one place. And so that was one of the first things they did, was put all of these assets and links in one place. So anytime you create something for your client or for an opt-in or for a bonus, please list it in one location and include the link to get to it. I like to include the back-end link and the link that you would give to someone, the front-end link, the link you would share with the client. So for the idea dashboard, I have the link that I give to someone where they can purchase it, but I also have the link to it if I want to make any changes or edit it. Okay, so files, podcast guests, funnel links, and assets and freebies. The 5th thing is ideas. Everyone needs a location to record ideas. And of course, when I finally created the idea dashboard, the idea tracker, I kind of have used both of those names, but it's the same thing. The idea tracker, I have all ideas in there, and they are categorized by tabs at the bottom for the different categories of ideas. These are ideas for courses. I just started a tab for Organized Life Academy 2025. I put something in a Facebook group for speakers because I have a guest speaker each month in that. That's my program where we organize our life and our home. And we have a guest speaker each month because we have a mindset topic and a decluttering focus. And I asked for speakers and I got more than what I needed for the rest of this year. So I started putting ideas for 2025, and it's so fun. It gets me so motivated because I know that I'm going to be able to find it. I'm not adding another piece of paper on my desk or post-it note with these ideas. I know that they're in there because there's only one place I keep ideas, and I can go there and find it and start putting these ideas. Because right now I'm feeling like it's all coming to me. Usually September, I start getting filled with ideas for the next year and get so excited about it. So I love the thought that I have a place for all of them. And that could be for anything. So it could be for your programs. It could be books you want to read. I put landing pages I love in there. Whenever I click to one I just say, oh, I love that. I grab the link and I put it in there. So you need ideas, a place for ideas. Grounding thoughts is number 6. Now, these could be thoughts you love. It could be like a belief plan that you're wanting to believe. But any thought that's been powerful, I want to have those in one spot so I can go back to them. I wish I would have kept them organized from the beginning of my business. These thoughts and I can see there's different places where I put them, but if I had one spot, it would be so much better. And I can see these living either in my idea tracker or in my business dashboard. If they're business thoughts and they're related to my business, I think I'd want them in my business dashboard. If they're ideas of thoughts that someone else thought or that, I just want to keep because I like them, that might fit into my idea tracker more. But having thoughts in one place from the beginning of my business, I think would be so powerful. Number 7, login and courses. Courses and login. Anything that you have taken, any course, any certification, anything like that, if you had a list of those courses and those certifications in one place with the login URL and the password, imagine how amazing it would be. And you're like, oh, I know that resource is in somewhere. And instead of having to search and going back through email to try to find where you log in, if you had all of that in one place from the very beginning of your business, oh my goodness, it would be amazing. And maybe you're listening and you're like, oh, I totally have that. It's so easy for me to find it. Or maybe you're listening and you're like, oh, I just yesterday tried to log in and I couldn't find my password or my login. So imagine having that all organized from the very beginning. Number 8, your bio links. That's what I'd call it. That's what my tab on my dashboard says, bio links. But anything for your bio, what else do you call that? The links that you need to send someone or that you need to grab especially when you're a guest or when you're on someone's podcast or when you're sharing a headshot. A headshot's another one. So all these things now finally are linked for me on my bio links tab. So to get, like, if someone says, can you send me a short bio and a headshot? I'm like, of course. One click to my business dashboard, one click on the bio link tab, and there they are. The bio, I just copy and paste it. The headshot link, just copy and paste it. And then all my social links, my website, my podcast are all in one spot. They're all with the name on the left. And then the next column is the link. So I just copy and paste the whole thing and paste it to where I need it. Literally takes less than 5 minutes. And it's so amazing. Before, I was going into a Google Doc and then trying to find it. And I had 24 bios that have kind of been rewritten and I went through them all. And then I'd have to go on my computer and find the headshots and then can't remember where they are. So that's what it was like. It was not as easy or fun. And why didn't someone tell me that from the very beginning and teach me how to do it? Okay, number 9. So files, podcast guesting, 3 funnel links. Number 4, assets, freebies. Number 5, ideas. Number 6, thoughts. Number 7, courses and logins. Number 8, bio links. Number 9, your numbers. I would have loved to have one place where I kept just the basic KPIs, key performance indicators, just some basic numbers, like what's my email list? I would probably keep track of what's my social follows just because I think it's motivating to see the numbers increase and fun to see and measure your gain, how far you've come from when you started. If there was some easy place to keep that, and I would have had it all in one place, but instead what I kind of have done is try to start keeping track of those in all these different places, depending on, maybe it was from a coach gave me their thing, and then maybe I tried to do it on my own, and now they're kind of all over. So it'd be so fun to just have them all in there from the very beginning. Number 10. Now I'm kind of leaving this one open, but I have some suggestions because when I think about it for myself, I have some things set up in my business that I love. So I have always kept all my passwords in one place, but I know that other people haven't. So I'm thinking that might be I mean, I think if you haven't done that, that absolutely would be on the top 10 things you should keep track of, because passwords, you take and waste a lot of time searching for them. So if you don't have that, that would be your number 10. The other thing is money. Because taxes kind of make you maintain your money yearly, even though it might be a big pain, you kind of have kept track of that, and it's summarized each year, hopefully. But if you don't have that set up, it could be even less stressful if you had that set up from the beginning and you had a way that you're recording that and checking in with it. And I will be having a podcast soon with Mark Butler. I use his service for my bookkeeping, and I'm in love with it. But I love how he's going to talk about on the podcast. He went on a little rant, which I'm going to probably leave it all in there just because it was so impactful, so powerful to see there's really not that much that most people need to do to analyze their numbers or their money. But I think it was powerful the way he said it. And so my money is in a spreadsheet based on his service that I can easily go in and look at, which I'm so grateful for. And I think it's so worth the amount that I spend on it that I would have that done. But if you don't, I think for sure that would be on your top 10. Okay, I'm curious. What did I miss? What do you think? Oh, you didn't even think about this? And this is one of the things I 100% wish I would have kept track of from the beginning. Let me know. I love if you DM me on Instagram at Tracy Hoth or send me an email, tracy@simplysquaredaway.com, and get registered for the class, simplysquaredaway.com/free class. It's August 19th. If you're listening to this, it's this week. So hurry and get registered. And what would you want to choose from this list? Now, you can't just get overwhelmed and think, oh gosh, that's too much. I can't handle it. I don't know where to start. You just pick one thing and you start. And of course, I want to help you do it. I want to just give you everything so that you have it all set up. And so when you come into Organized Coach Academy, I help you do all of it. I give you everything you need. I teach you how to do that, and you get it all set up in a beautiful, simple way from the beginning. Okay, have an amazing week. We'll see you next week. Wait, if you're finding this podcast useful, you must check out the Organized Coach Academy. It's my course where I walk you through every step to get your business organized, to get yourself organized, to save money and time, to prepare to hire someone, to do all the things that you want to do in your business with ease. Check that out at simplysquaredaway.com/OCA. Also, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but I would love it. It's my way of knowing that you're enjoying the podcast if you leave a written review. I have lots of freebies for you. They're linked in the show notes. You can find them in my bio on Instagram at Tracy Hoth. And until next week, have a beautiful day.